Imagine growing up with a loving father. He helps with your homework, drives you to school, barbecues on weekends, and kisses your mom goodnight. He's the neighborhood watch leader, a respected churchgoer, and even works as a compliance officer for the city. Now, imagine finding out that same man was secretly a sadistic killer, one who stalked, tortured, and murdered innocent people for decades, all while smiling across the dinner table. This isn't a horror movie. This is the chilling true story of Dennis Rader, better known by the name he gave himself, BTK. Bind, torture, kill. He terrorized Wichita, Kansas, for over 30 years, hiding in plain sight. His neighbors called him trustworthy. His family saw him as gentle. But behind closed doors, he was a cold-blooded monster. This is the haunting tale of the BTK Killer, a man who lived a double life so perfectly, no one suspected a thing. Dennis Lynn Rader seemed like the average suburban dad. Born in 1945, he grew up in Kansas, served in the Air Force, got married, and had 2 children. He worked as a compliance officer and was even the president of his church council. But there were signs, small, disturbing signs that went unnoticed. Rader admitted later that he fantasized about bondage and control since childhood. While others pushed aside dark thoughts, Rader leaned into them. In 1974, he acted on those urges. His first victims were the Otero family. He broke into their home, tied them up, and strangled them, one by one. A mother, a father, a teenage son, and a young daughter. 4 lives gone, and the world had no idea who did it. The newspapers called the killer a ghost. No fingerprints, no witnesses, just horror. But Rader wanted recognition. He wanted credit. So, he began sending taunting letters to the media, bragging about the murders and giving himself a name, BTK. Bind, torture, kill. He wasn't just a killer. He was a narcissist, a man who needed to be seen, on his terms. For the next 3 decades, BTK operated like a phantom. He killed again in 1974, 1977, 1985, 1986, and 1991. His victims were often women, alone and vulnerable. Rader stalked them for weeks, learning their routines, planning every step like a predator. Each murder was methodical. He'd break in, bind them with ropes or tape, torture them psychologically, and then end their lives. Then, nothing. Years would pass without a single word from BTK. Police believed he had either died or been imprisoned for another crime. The city of Wichita tried to move on. Meanwhile, Dennis Rader was at home, attending his daughter's school plays, reading the Bible at church, and working in local government. He was so normal, so boring, that when neighbors were asked about him after his arrest, they used words like respectable, quiet, and friendly. No one ever suspected him. Not once. In 2004, a local newspaper ran an article marking the 30-year anniversary of the Otero family murders. That was all it took. BTK couldn't resist the attention. He re-emerged, taunting police, sending letters again, this time with puzzles, dolls, and photos of his past crimes. He wanted the world to fear him again. But time had changed things. DNA technology had improved. Police had new tools. And BTK made one crucial mistake that would finally bring down his perfect mask. Rader, now overconfident, asked the police a question through one of his letters. If he sent them a floppy disk, could it be traced? The police answered publicly in a newspaper ad, saying, "No, it's safe." That was a lie. BTK took the bait. He sent in the floppy disk. When investigators examined it, they found something in the file's metadata, a name. Dennis Rader. The disk had been used at Christ Lutheran Church, where Rader was president of the council. They cross-referenced this with earlier evidence and obtained a warrant to test DNA from a pap smear taken from Rader's daughter during a previous medical visit. It was a familial match to the semen found at one of the crime scenes. It was over. On February 25, 2005, Dennis Rader was arrested just blocks from his home. He confessed almost immediately, going into graphic detail about every single murder. He was sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms, 175 years without the possibility of parole. His wife divorced him. His children were devastated. His daughter, Kerry, later revealed that she had no clue, not even a whisper of suspicion, that her father could be capable of such evil. She recalled a man who took her camping, helped her with homework, and supported her education. Imagine realizing the person who tucked you in at night had killed 10 people and fantasized about doing more. The betrayal was so complete, so devastating, that many who knew Rader struggled to accept the truth, even after the confession. The BTK case forces us to face a terrifying reality. The worst monsters don't always look like monsters. Sometimes they live next door. Sometimes they raise families. Sometimes they blend in perfectly. Dennis Rader was not a drifter, a madman on the run, or a shadow in the night. He was a husband, a father, a deacon. And for 30 years, he hid in plain sight, proof that evil doesn't always wear a mask. What do you think drives someone like Dennis Rader to live such a double life? Is it pure evil, or something deeper, buried beneath the surface? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another deep dive into the darkest minds in history. This is True Crime Hub, where we uncover the truth, no matter how terrifying it may be.